Yes, yes. Congratulations. We're live, ladies and gentlemen, in a bull market. As a matter of fact, if you couldn't tell, I'm sure you could tell, this is a bull market. We've seen Ethereum, a 50% jump outside of the box. Now, I want to go over something very specific there because it was a great learning process. We're going to go over Bitcoin, obviously, and there's a few others that are looking really nice. In general, the DeFi sector is such a powerful place. I don't think a lot of people are really ready for how much there is there. So right off the gate, give us a thumbs up, guys. That will help the stream find its way to as many viewers as possible. And then we're going to dive in from here, and we're going to actually go straight to the larger frame of Bitcoin. So let's fire into that. Yeah, we'll do that now. Okay, Bitcoin on the daily. It's been a few days since we've been here. Happy New Year's, all that fun stuff. Happy holidays, all those exciting things. Look at this explosion outside of the box. An SOS of 150% for Bitcoin. Wow. Again, congratulations for everyone who was here early enough to enjoy that run. Now, we're up pretty high, and that's always a little disconcerting. I'll draw another regression line here just for fun to keep it parallel. Yeah, we could go higher on this run as well, but that's a different story. We'll leave that for later on in the sentiment. What I want to do is actually start to get a little closer and take a look at some of these trading ranges that we had been in. So here right now on the 4-hour, you can see 19,000 upwards of where we are now. So 19,000, this is the trading range we are watching here. Beautiful. Again, what we're doing is looking for horizontal trading ranges. Seems kind of simple. And effectively, guys, I've been saying this to anyone who's buying spot. There's no reason to sell yet. We're a long ways away from like selling and then rebuying back. It doesn't make any sense to do that in the early stages of a bull market. Now, if you're playing with leverage, it's a much different game, and you want to be very specific about your entries. But these horizontal trading ranges are very, very powerful. Now, one of the ones that was, I think, a really beautiful setup here was actually around the $23,000 mark. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this particular trading range. Now, it's retrospective, but I was offline for the Christmas and New Year's holidays, and I wanted to go over this because I think it's important. For those of you that are practicing with leverage, again, if you're buying spot, just keep buying. We're still in the early stages of a bull market. There's tons of reports by companies like Fidelity that prove that over time, if you just buy consistently, whether it's monthly, quarterly, weekly, whatever fits your budget, that's going to work in the long term. Time averaging. Some people call it dollar cost, but I think it's time averaging into a position. Don't worry about the price if you're buying spot. Just continue to accumulate. That's what I've been saying, and you can see why that was such a valid mentality. So this trading range here was really nice because it was only 7%. So these are the areas where you're like, wow, a trading range is forming that's only 7%. That's below the 10% loss rate of a 10x position. Accumulating anywhere near the bottom of the trading range here at 10x would have performed amazingly, right? And that's the important part you want to get to. Whether you figure it out this bull market or not, I think is entirely irrelevant. We've got a lot further to go. This second trading range, again, only 4 or 5% of a swing side. Another very easy potential for a leverage position without a lot of downside if your stop loss was in place. The reason this is important, guys, is because if you're new to the sector, investing, whatever it might be, you should just be buying and holding more or less until we get to like blowout tops, which could be anywhere upwards of $300,000. I've said that a few times. Let's not rush too much further ahead of ourselves. We're really high up yet, and we've seen no real large retracements. It's pretty easy to speculate that we might see one soon, especially with how overbought we are. But that's not always necessarily the case. This is a limited supply asset, and it's growing in demand. Now, one of the things I wanted to take a look at, not to do with trading or investing, but I wanted to go over this. It was shared on Twitter by James Allaire. He's the CEO of Circle. This is a press release from the OCC They work in the banking sector. And as you can see, federally chartered banks and thrifts may participate in independent node verification networks and use stablecoins. They're basically saying, yeah, you can become an Ethereum node validator. That's allowed. And you can use stablecoins. Yeah, that's allowed too. And guess what? Why would they want to do that? It's significantly cheaper than ACH and wire systems. This opens up a whole new world for some of these products to be played in. So as you can see, I'll just highlight this. While governments in other countries have built real-time payment systems, the United States has relied on innovation to sector deliver real-time payment technologies. So some of those technologies are built and managed by bank consortium and other independent node verification networks such as blockchains. Again, moving into our sector. This is probably some of the reason for such a bullish case on Ethereum, which we'll get into next. So identifying important risks, allowing those risks to be managed in a technology agnostic way. Again, they're seeing an increasing demand on behalf of customers who are demanding that speed and efficiency and interoperability and low cost associated with these products. This is huge news. So again, banks also must be aware of potential risks while conducting these compliance, operational, fraud. Again, it's just so much for a lot of these people probably to get their hands around. Even the automated market makers, the DeFi space, it's all so much, so quick that these are operating risks. That's what we call them here. So again, this electronic custody service will act as a digital certification authority providing processing services. This, I don't think I can really stress how big a news this is. Okay, so back to the charts. Well, obviously Bitcoin's been doing very well. I want to go over something in Binance, in Ethereum here. This was our Liverpool chart that we had drawn up quite some time ago. And as you can see, as soon as we closed above it, I made a post in the private bear den talking about the fact that we had closed above the Livermore breakout chart. This was a big indication that we were not going to come back down lower, as we closed above it. And as you can see, as soon as we saw any sign of strength, boom, 50% run up on Ethereum in less than 24 hours. Now again, this is potentially related to the news we just went over, which is that not Bitcoin, didn't say anything about Bitcoin. It said node validators and stable coins. That means Ethereum. Now, are there others like Dot that allow that, or Polkadot, Band, or no, Band is an Oracle provider similar to Chainlink. Let's not get them mixed up here. But this is huge for this sector. And again, beautiful Livermore accumulation chart didn't come back down for this last one, but exploded right outside of it. So when you're looking for entries like this, our primary entries for Ethereum were all here between 404 and the previous accumulation range down here at 240. Now, getting these things right takes talent and practice, and it's not always easy. I made a mistake. I've made lots of mistakes. I was in a big trade here and I closed out a little too early. It was my fault. I feel a little bad about that one because that was a bring home the bacon type trade for sure. But this is not over. This is just the beginning of this bull market. And when the bull market ends, it will go into reaccumulation and we will see this market continue to explode. We have a decade ahead of us. This is still just the beginning. So keep that in mind. Don't overrush, don't jump in. If you're new to trading and investing, the best advice anyone could probably give you is just to consistently be investing on a bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis, whatever works for your portfolio. That's a very, very smart way to go. Look at the rise in volume here too for Ethereum. Pretty impressive stuff. Now, it's when we go into the smaller time frames down near the 15-minute and start to bring up some of our momentum indicators that we can see some of these intermediary trading points as well. So the long I had entered was here at 740. I got closed out a little early. It was my fault. I wanted to go to sleep. I was being a little bitch. I can't swear on this YouTube channel. I can, but you know what I said. Anyways, point of this is these momentum indicators, especially on the 15-minute, have been quite powerful to pay attention to. So again, if you're new to trading, don't trade if you're new to it. Just watch. You will gain a massive amount of knowledge and information just from paying attention to this sector. And that's important. Learning should cost you as little as possible. And if you go and you try to trade right away, chances are you're going to lose because the markets have spent more than your lifetime getting good at taking money away from people like you. And that's important to remember. You're probably going to lose. So if you take your time and you educate yourself, you give yourself the recognition that we have a decade left in this sector, and this is not the last bull market that we will see, because it's not the first. And it gives you that space to really allow yourself to grow with what you're learning, if that's the case, if that's what you want to do. Again, investing here, some investors are like, oh, well, why would I want to learn about Wyckoff trading analysis? So what we're always trying to do is find these nice horizontal trading ranges. So look at Ethereum here. Here is a beautiful horizontal trading range with Ethereum, a very bullish one too. Look how long it stayed. It didn't even want to come back down to the bottom. You saw its primary SOS above the box, and then just this massive explosion outside of that trading range. So again, the question for this where we are now is, are we about to see a new trading range take place? Now, this looked kind of like distribution this morning, this big drop down, and then these here. So I was a little weary that you could go lower, especially because Bitcoin looked like it might be getting into a stage of distribution as well. And you could ask yourself the question, is this a double top? We have gone straight up, right? We go back to our Livermore chart on the daily, and you can see we broke straight up out of this megaphone pattern, and like with a lot of power. This is not a weak position when you see a 50% move in a single swing. It's really important to remember that this is the secondary sign of strength. Similar to how we saw in Bitcoin, we're seeing the same thing with Ethereum, and it is not done. Now, I'm going to be looking to be more patient. I was already in my basically my spot trades, as well as some of my simpler longs. But we're going to have an opportunity now with all this volatility where things are just going to continue to explode. Now, again, if you're new to this sector, just keep investing. Don't worry about trading. Like, I'm going to sell at $900 and buy back in at $850. You're going to lose money. I guarantee it. You don't have enough of a skill set. Leverage allows you to play really tactfully and turn a small amount of money into a large amount of money in a very short period of time, or you lose that small amount of money. So it's like a cost to reward type of relationship, and it's worth keeping in mind. But for now, keep it simple. Just invest simply. Now, I want to take a look at Link here as well. Yeah, here we go. So we were watching Link on this kind of rising channel. I actually thought we were going to break out here. I thought this was our SOS, our backup. I thought we were going to go higher. But look, we've actually stayed above the primary horizontal trading range. So this is just an awkward backup phase. More accumulations taking place. Beautiful. Now that Link is starting to close above, you could see another quick test down. Again, it's been building another reaccumulation area here, it looks like. But Link has a lot of room, especially as this bull market continues to grow. People will start to diversify. They'll start to think they're smarter than the market, and they'll invest everywhere else. Now, I think Band went out in our free newsletter the other day. Give a shout out to Baloo for helping write our free newsletter. But we want to look at this potential inverse shoulders in our horizontal trading range. Band looks like it's primed and ready to go. We've already seen a 30% move up from the $5.60 mark, which is where we sent that newsletter out. Again, 34%. Jesus, the market moves so fast. But more importantly, I wanted to take a look at DOT because it was very similar. Now, DOT, we had been watching this primary horizontal trading range, and in the private group, we had looked at this, what I had considered to be a cup and handle type scenario, and I was looking for approximately 100% move outside of this box, and lo and behold, the cup and handle produced 70%. It will likely go a little higher, probably somewhere to around $12 before finding a new consolidation and trading range before going higher. Again, DOT is another potential interoperability, I guess, what would you call it? Let's say a collaborator in this ecosystem instead of a competitor. It just sounds nicer. I think it makes more sense. The interoperability here might become one of the forefronts and the forerunners for how these work. So looking for these horizontal trading ranges is very powerful. Now, Avalanche is another one that we are big fans of, and as you can see, look at the depth of this new horizontal trading range that's taking place. You have approximately, that's a kind of sloppy drawing here. I'll redo that again. They give you a horizontal line bar for a reason, Tio, so you don't have to draw crooked ones. But here we go. Draw the top of our bar here, and we'll double down. and we'll measure it approximately here around a 29% trading range. So there's a lot of volatility to the up and down side here to enter with leverage plays, but I'm accumulating Avalanche, Dot, Aave, Link, and Wi-Fi, and we'll probably add one or two more to those just in a spot buy scenario. Not interested in playing with leverage when there's so much volatility, like 30% up and down swings. Really easy to get wiped out of a position. Whereas with Ethereum, as we were showing you, you had a Bitcoin 5% gap before 50% upside. Okay, that's exactly what you want to look for. Okay, I wanted to take one last look at Uni Izilica, and then we'll take a look at a few of your guys' questions. Here you can see we had drawn part of the horizontal trading range for Uniswap before it broke out. I do suspect we are going to go higher for that as well. It was a nice reaccumulation range. There's a bunch of these that did this. I'll take a look at XTZ. We'll just roll through, although this is in Bitcoin right now. I don't want to chart against Bitcoin. The whole market, guys, has really shifted to being significantly more noticeable in the USDC space. So that's a big change about this year, especially when we see this. The fact that the OCC is now saying federally chartered banks may use stablecoins. That's a fucking huge deal. Keep that in mind. Anyways, I'll keep it at that. I want to take a look at a few of your guys' thoughts and questions. So we'll use that time now, and we'll kind of fire it over here. Wait, hold on. Do we have a chat screen? Where's that? Where's that chat screen? Okay, here we go. Cardano. Yeah, again, I would look at the trading ranges. SNX is popping. Again, trading ranges. Ethereum to $2,500, very possible. Yeah, looks like a double top. Yeah, but in a bull market like this, it's much easier to assume a bullish sentiment than it is to look for bearish movements and look for those horizontal trading ranges and breakouts above and then closes above those trading ranges, significantly stronger. What do we do with these gas fees, alternative blockchain? Look, these are going to be fixed pretty clearly in the future. I think that it's just a matter of time. I think that the price is a reflection of the trust of the security of things like Ethereum. So just to be patient there. Alex Kushner says, shout out to Blue. Yeah, a shout out to all the private members of the Arcane Bear family. You guys help produce so much content together so that we all work together, because it's impossible to do it all at once. It says, Joseph here says, shall I hold my Bitcoin? Will it drop or rise? Yeah, if you're asking questions like this, Hamid, all you should do is keep buying and not really think too much. Just buy as not a lot, so you're not too worried about price. Only need to do buy ETH, hold for a few years. Very simple, abracadabra, and you're rich. I wouldn't say that much, but yes, investing frequently over the course of your lifetime is like compounding interest. It will in the long term pay off if you just keep showing up to the plate and playing the game. It's hugely important. I only have 1.3 Ethereum. Is that fine? Yeah. TW, you're ahead of probably most of the world's population. So just continue to keep investing, I think, and buy more, sell in 2025. Yeah, again, patience and finding a simple strategy here is going to be a really great way for a lot of you guys to go. Now, I want to keep today's episode kind of short because it's late here. Had a little bit of a headache the last day or two. I'm not sure why that is. But maybe if you guys want, we could go over something. Just give me a quick second here. Let's take a look. Okay. So maybe what we'll do now is, if you guys want, we can look at whatever you guys are interested in. Let's see here. Just got here. What did I miss? We went over basic understandings of the horizontal trading ranges. I think it's so important to recognize that. You know, the private group, we specifically study trading ranges. And I think a lot of you who are in the private group recognize how valuable that is. Thank you for all the new private members. We had like 20 new people sign up. I'm really, really grateful for that. You guys really help build the community. We're going to scale out Q1 and Q2 or this year now with a video editor and try to produce more vlogs. I'm going to go do ayahuasca on Thursday. I maybe even will produce a vlog about that for fun. But the goal here is to continually produce that value add to you guys, because when you're in a bull market, it's hard to stay calm and sane. Yeah. So thank you to the Private Bear group for helping everybody stay calm and stay sane in this explosion. Okay, let's take a look at a few more of your guys' questions here, and then we'll dive into the charts. U-Trust looks like a great project for mid to long term. I'm not sure. I really try not to think too much about that unless I'm investing a small amount, and then I look at it more like venture capital. What am I willing to put in and lose and walk away from? And that's a great way to make those bets and investments. That's how most venture capitals works. That's how I do manage a smaller part of my portfolio like that, where I just buy like $200 in DOT or BAND or AAVE every month, and I don't really think about it. I'm ready for it to be worth nothing or 100x more. Either way, I'm good. Thumbs up. Yes, ayahuasca vlog. Okay, I will do the ayahuasca vlog. Can we look at XMR and thoughts on privacy coins being delisted? You know, Ethereum has something called Tornado Cash, and it works. So whatever privacy coins. I mean, it sucks. It would have been a great opportunity to short those things, just like it was a great opportunity to potentially short XRP when we saw that news come out. But other than that, the actual infringement on privacy is quite worrying. I was hoping Bitcoin would have had features like that built in, but Ethereum does. You know, we could actually see, well, I don't want to speculate too much here because I'm a longtime believer that Bitcoin is our collateral, but Ethereum is making monumental progress, whereas Bitcoin is the same old tractor we've always had, which is good. I like it. It does the same thing we always needed to do. But it's a different story, I guess. It depends how you want to look at it. Algorand looks promising. Okay, we'll take a look at that too. People locking up ETH. Yeah, I think staking is important. We play around with that in different areas. For instance, we're going to offer yield farming on Bear. So for those of you that want to join the pool, go play around. You know what to do. If you don't, we'll do some videos about it. We're going to do more videos around DeFi. So with band accumulation zone, inverse head and shoulders, yes, that's what I think. That's how it appears to us. SNX and Aave pumping, yeah. And do you think Zilliqa versus ETH will recover? I have no idea. I don't trade Zilliqa versus ETH. Thanks. Checking out Tornado Cash now. Yeah, for those that you have that have not, check out Tornado Cash. Maybe I'll pop it open here in the background and we'll go over it. Tornado.cash. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we'll pop this open. We'll look at this one because it is a pretty helpful idea here. Okay, so this is Tornado.cash, a fully decentralized protocol for private transactions on Ethereum, and we're going to launch the application. Doop-a-doop-doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop. And there you go. We could deposit 0.1 ETH, connect, and then the anonymity test, latest deposits. So this is, we have privacy on Ethereum. I'm really happy about that. I haven't connected to my, oh look, Tornado Cash was audited. However, it is still an experimental software. So please use at your own risk. So who are they audited by? Let's give them a like and a retweet on that one. Good job, Tornado Cash. Cryptographic reviews. So if you guys haven't followed us on Twitter yet, do that. We're just going to retweet that for Tornado Cash there. It's a great feature they've added, I think, an extremely important one as well. Okay, so if you haven't, check out Tornado Cash. Again, they do offer privacy on Ethereum. So problem solved? Maybe. We'll find out in the future, I guess. I know you guys wanted me to take a look at a few more ideas on the tokens and the charts. I heard Aave in there. So Aave, we are watching through an ascending channel. Yeah. A rising gradient bottom potentially here. Looks like we may have seen our spring and a recovery. So we're going to be watching this trading range here. If Aave starts to close above this, which it looks like it's going to do, you could see a much bigger move for Aave in the very near future here. The altcoin season is probably arriving, but mostly focused on the DeFi sector. DeFi is crazy important. For those of you that don't know, things like this are, okay, look, this is the Arcane Bear token. We made this for fun. It's a community experiment. Here you can see the prices changing, people buying and selling. But look, on CoinGecko, we're currently number 948 at 59 cents. So what's important about this? The DeFi sector. Well, what does that mean? Things like automated market makers on Ethereum are hugely important. Ether Delta, Fork Delta, this peer-to-peer marketplace, it was really exciting, but it didn't offer the advantages of what an automated market maker does. We're finding huge progress in this sector when you see the growth and change of what Uniswap can do. What are they currently at today? $1.02 billion in volume. Congratulations, Uniswap. Now, this is important to remember what this does to a market. These add a lot of new features that we didn't have before, and it brings a whole new level of value to the ecosystem that Bitcoin has nothing can do with. Ethereum is extremely undervalued. We've talked about this many times that I thought Ethereum was like, my mind was blowing. I kept being like, yeah, Ethereum. There's a reason for it. It does a lot of things Bitcoin won't ever do, but Bitcoin can now do those things because of Ethereum. And that's important. Bitcoin will now, you could send from one address to another very simply. It'll be a wrapped Bitcoin most likely. So this adds a whole new level of scalability to Bitcoin without interfering with our original source code and the security and the amount of hashing power that's going into just keeping our tractor going forward. And we like it like that. We like it doing what it's supposed to do. If it works as a collateral investment, perfect. Ethereum can take care of everything else. And that's what you start to see. Bitcoin's not a stable coin. These federally chartered banks, they're going to come up with ways to offset the difference. Currency should be inflated. That's the problem that most people made, is they didn't understand that currency and money were different. Well, look, duh, of course a currency is going to be inflated. We have new people born every day, new wealth generating products, services, things like SpaceX, Tesla, Zoom, wealth generation. How do you account for generating new wealth if you have a scarce, limited asset? You can't do it. You need to inflate the currency supply. It's one of the sad things, but you shouldn't hold on to too much of it. I keep having to remind myself of that. Don't have too much fiat. It's not worth it. Fiat is meant to be spent. If you're not using it, well, then it's going to lose value. And that's kind of the interpretation of the difference between currency and money. That's why Bitcoin evolved away from cash. It's not supposed to, it works better when it's not a currency. Currencies are probably designed to be inflated from what I can tell. I think it's an extremely important distinction to make, and one that people don't often make. So what was the other one? Aave and SNX. Why do I not have SNX there up in my top? Okay, we'll move comp back up to my DeFi sector. We'll put SNX back up there. I don't know why these all got kind of tumbled and bumbled around here. Yes. Okay. Oh, these are against BTC. Okay, let's start over here. SNX. So SNX is synthetics. This is an interesting concept as well. The ability to basically follow the asset price of something. Eventually, you will see a lot of the blockchain moved on to something like Ethereum. Very interesting. Look at this accumulation range, right? Beautiful. Look at that spring too, right at the bottom, right there, right below the POC. And outside of the box of the trading range, approximately 60%. So I hope that all of you guys are really recognizing the value of noticing these horizontal trading ranges and the SOS and backup phases that occur very shortly after, because they are powerful. Look at this, backup, boom, another SOS. So when you're going through the process of learning, again, educating yourself is more valuable because you're likely to lose money if you're trading. But on the plus side, you know that this is all accumulation range. Even though it's a 37% box range for SNX, it was still accumulation. The whole DeFi sector will likely to continue to do that. Okay, let's take a look at a few more of your guys' thoughts and questions here. And we'll just jump back. We'll fire this one over, and then we'll take a look at the conversation you guys have going on. We'll try to answer as many of your guys' questions. 200 plus live viewers. If you're new to the Arcane Bear family, please remember to hit that subscribe button and the little bell, so that way anytime we go live, you guys will be notified. Also, give us a thumbs up because it helps other people later on down the stream find this channel, especially because we are live at this moment. And again, give yourself all a round of applause because you're some of the earliest people here still. When we started the channel in 2017 and Bitcoin was at $600, it was early then. We are somehow almost more early than we were then. I know it doesn't feel that way, but the amount of innovation that's taken place and the potential that we see in the future is massive. So do know that you are early, and just be patient. That's one of the most important aspects about investing, is patience. So we'll dive into some of your guys' questions. Will Link fall anymore? Hard to say. I would follow, I would definitely go up and do more study with the Wyckoff accumulation ranges, because that's the only way you'll be able to tell what kind of trade you want to make. So that would be important to recognize as well. Let's see here. Nobody uses Monero in the big picture. Yeah, Monero's moved into pretty much black market stuff, which is fine. Again, privacy is pretty much used by the people that want to use it. So there's that. I don't care. I pay my taxes. I follow the rules. Not that I think you shouldn't have privacy. I still think we should have I think we should actually enforce privacy, but it's a difficult conversation because just because it's an important conversation. Privacy is, you don't recognize how important it is to you until you have a government that doesn't like what you're doing, or you're trying to dissent against them, or they're closing you down for having alternative views. You made your coin for fun? Yeah, we did. We did it with Roll. It was really easy, lots of fun. I think the point here is to understand that we are in the very early experimentation phase here. So any type of playing you can do is going to be worth its weight in gold in the long term, because understanding how automated market makers work, liquidity pools, yield farming, it's usually a costly lesson. So instead of me learning on someone else's, I decided we'd make our own. Simple as that. Like smashed. Thank you, Mark Carter. I appreciate that. Peace soup clap. There we go, guys. Dustin Guthrow says bullish Gartley on XMR in the 1 hour. It's been held down with FUD referencing XRP cash flow, one exchange. I don't see why XMR would be in trouble just over one exchange. XMR is likely more in trouble because of the on and off ramps, right? So now if you want to change your XMR for US dollars and the US banks say, no, you can't do that because you can't prove to us where it came from. Same way if you were to go to the bank with $10,000 cash, they said, where did you get it from? I think you'd have to prove that, right? So there's certain value propositions on the on and off ramps that are going to become the most important part of this conversation, that has to do with the value, because if you can't turn it into something else, then it wouldn't be worth something else. But maybe what you could find is you could wrap a Monero and trade it for Bitcoin on Ethereum. And again, this just adds more value to Ethereum. So I'm very bullish on Ethereum. I don't really feel like investing personally in privacy. I like innovation and transparency. Personally, one of my more tangible interests to invest in. But yeah, we'll go with that. Nasir Bela says, how can I buy Bear? Okay, that's this is a fun question. And your thoughts on India planning 8% tax currency and trading? It's pretty simple. Yeah, okay. How can I buy Bear? Okay, let's go over that one because I think it's a fun conversation. I don't buy it. It's an experimentation process. It's not supposed to. It's for our Arcane Bear community to experiment. So I have to advise all of you to understand the risks involved, tax risks, operational risks, the same things that we went over in that first kind of briefing by the OCC and bank charters, which is that there's risks involved in playing here, so don't mess around with too much. But on the bright side, let's take a look at Bear here. So if you go to Uniswap, so this will be kind of a fun one. You guys can go to Uniswap, or actually we'll give a shout out to 1inch too, because they're kind of fun. If you go to Uniswap, 1inch, any of the decentralized exchanges, and you type in Bear. So the first thing to show up is Bear to ETH pair. You would click on that, and then you can see there's the add liquidity and trade button. I don't know what this plus thing does. Oh, bookmark. Okay, nice. I've bookmarked Bear now. So you would once you find that out, you would hit trade. I guess I could maybe even pop this into the chat. Let's find out. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. There's the link. Again, the fun part here is you could go to trade, and then I could trade some Ethereum or some BAT or any number of crazy tokens. Let's see. Here you go. It'll automatically pop up. Oh, I don't know why I didn't there. Anyways, just hit this trade button. Again, I don't suggest anyone buy it. This is for our a community, private community experiment. We're doing yield farming here too as well. So that's going to be fun. If you buy and stake over 0.77 Ethereum and equivalent Bear, you'll be included in this month's snapshot for yield farming. Again, I don't suggest anyone do that for legal reasons. But if you're interested in experimenting and you understand those risks, like just for fun here, guys, I'm going to read you the legal risks that I had to go through with my attorney. First off, thank you to attorneys, lawyers, and accountants for helping you know when you're legally or not legally allowed to mess around with shit, because it's so important. But I'm gonna read you this because I think it's funny. I won't read all of it because it's a long-winded rant. It basically just says the same thing I said in a much longer version, which is don't. Oh, why won't it open? Oh, that's kind of frustrating. Anyways, unimportant. Don't worry about that. Let's go back here. Okay. So one of the fun things, one of the fun things here too is you have companies like Chartx, Chartx.pro. There's another one where you can chart a lot more of the DeFi coins that haven't shown up on something like TradingView yet. So for those of you that haven't seen this, this is Chartx.pro. You can just go up to the top, type Bear, and it says Bear, Arcane Bear, and then you can follow along the charts for Bear token as well. Look at all this, all this madness on the 1 hour. You can measure here from where we first started. Oh wow, up 930%, down 50%, and then we're currently sitting at 60 cents per Bear. Pretty ridiculous for something that's just a social experiment. I was kind of wishing it was going to allow me to show you guys all the risk. One sec. Let me try to find this here really quickly in the background before I open it up here. I want to read this to you guys because I think you will find it entertaining to see how many legal legal parameters I had to put in the way from try to warn you guys not to buy Bear token, because again, this space is so new. There are so many different types of risk involved. But the experimentation process is, I think, the most valuable aspect here. Okay, yeah, here we go. Disclaimers and warnings for Bear. This project is in beta. Therefore, it entails significant and unqualified technical or other risks. It's a novel, new technology with underlying weaknesses and or vulnerabilities that may or may not exist and pose additional and or unanticipated risks. This is intended as an experimental community feedback mechanism proposed for DeFi only, and significant unqualified risks involved. Number 3, here we go. Actually, I'll show you guys this because I think it's entertaining what I had to go through with my legal team to get through this one. Thank you to legal. I love you. You know who you are. You guys help me make sure that I'm not screwing up. And if you want to try to screw with me, go ahead, because we've got a great legal team. Okay, any tokens that may be proposed, contemplated, or presented have no value. And these are utility tokens. So again, any U.S. persons within are excluded from participating. Due diligence is unequivocally required for participation. Unsophisticated interaction is strictly prohibited. This project is unsafe or experimental. Anticipation in the experimental model is strictly at your own risk. And if you do not understand these risks, please refrain from participation. Oh, thank you for that. I think that's fun. But that's besides the point. The important part there is to understand that there's a lot of risk involved with this. But when you're playing in these early stage developments, there's a lot of really cool stuff that can take place. And you shouldn't not play either. So that's an important one. Okay, next question. That's kind of a little bit of a rant. And look, guys, we're going to do more videos strictly on DeFi as we move forward because it's so immensely valuable and explosive. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of your guys' thoughts and questions. Let's go back to this screen here and see where we're at. Okay. Crypto will free humanity? Yes, crypto is from Edward Snowden. I would love if that was the real Edward Snowden. If that's the real Edward Snowden, please send me an email. Let's see. Can you please check short-term ETH? The double top in the hour, it looks kind of bearish. Short run, do you think it will correct soon? Again, don't worry about a correction. If you're new to investing, just keep accumulating because we're still in early stages of accumulation. If you want to use like leverage and play around, We'll look at Ethereum here in a minute. What do you think of Graph? Okay, Graph and Ethereum on the list of things I want to look at for you guys. Bitcoin will hit 50K by the end of the month and 100 by the end of the year, says Peter. Maybe. Look, I've been speculating Bitcoin going to hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for like 3 or 4 years now. I don't want to feel like a broken record, and I don't like making videos all the time that just says Bitcoin's going to $1 million, although we'd probably have more followers and viewers if we were so hyped all the time. It's not my favorite way to go. I like this kind of calm mentality, one step at a time. We are going to $1 million, but one day at a time, so let's not rush that. Do you invest in small cap alts or trading high mid caps? Check out Injective Protocol. Yes, I do, but I look at that more as venture capital. Crypto Rick, thank you, sends us a super chat, and because of that, you get your comment highlighted here. Let's see, can I do that? No, I wasn't in the wrong chat. So here you go. There's Crypto Rick on the side here. Shout out to Crypto Rick for the super chat. Let's see what he has to say here. Crypto Rick says, anyone who is trading on Uni or using a lot of gas needs to check out Ethanol. Is giving cash back rewards on Ethereum gas fees just for holding. Okay, cool. Take a look at that. The Ethereum fees are going to likely diminish quite drastically as these new plasma sharding, ZK rollups, which stands for zero knowledge proof rollups, as well as the staking potential. It's just migration time, and that's not a fast process. But I think Ethereum's price moving up is a pretty clear indicator that people are starting to trust it. Edward Stone says Zuckcoin. I don't know what that is, but yes, Facebook is going to be releasing their coin as well. I believe it's called Novi. They had to change their name. Novi, is that what it is? Novi? Yes. Okay, we'll take a look at the new Facebook coin and token as well. So this is the new Facebook wallet and app that was converted from Libra. It is now called Novi, but you can see the Libra logo there as well. Get Novi first. Okay, let's click here. Okay, cool. There you go. Facebook is already on its way to creating its own US dollar stablecoin. And this is it, Novi from Facebook. For those of you that did not know, Novi is from Facebook, so you'll be able to access it from your favorite apps on WhatsApp and Messenger. You will be able to send US dollar stablecoins via Novi. Fast and cheap, as easy as sending a message. Hey, bye-bye Western Union. Hey, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Venmo. Fantastic. Even though I'm not a big fan of, let's say, Facebook or stablecoins, I do think that the reduction of costs for people that live in third world countries sending money from point A to point B is a huge leader. And anytime we can remove some of the gaps in the financial world to help those who are underbanked and underserved, I think we're doing something good. So even though I'm not a fan, shout out to them for likely making this sector much more accessible to people who are living in, say, rural India or Sri Lanka and want to send money back and forth between their families without getting dinged by the dicks at Western Union. Okay, so that was the Facebook Zuck coin we went over. Okay, what's next? What's next? What do you guys? Graph and Ethereum, is that what you said? Okay, Saber Rider says, sold my Ethereum for 920. Hoping to get back in 800. Okay, Saber Rider, I'm telling you, this is a bad idea. If you see people that are buying spot and selling, hoping to make like a few percent, you're playing the game wrong. You should just keep accumulating. That's my personal thought. So whatever you would like to do, you don't have to take don't take my advice. I actually, it's my suggestion to everyone. Do your own thing. Take responsibility for your own actions. That's a great way to go. Okay, lastly, he says, you think BTC and ETH will break out tonight? Don't make assertions like that, but we will look at them. To make some profit taking worthwhile, do you have to be among the first to enter and have at least 10K invested? To make profit farming, do you have to be among the first to enter? No, the yield farming that's a great question. No, you don't need a lot technically for it to be included. One of the fun things too, and I'm going to give a shout out. Okay, yeah, we're going to go over a few things. You want me to look at LRC, SNX, GRT, ETH. Okay, we'll do that. But I wanted to also go to team.finance. So one of my friends, Jeff Kadurkis, and their company TrustSwap had just recently acquired Team.finance. Team.finance is a smart contract where you can lock up liquidity, and you can see how much of the liquidity for each pool is locked up. So if you type, this is a good thing to check if you are looking at yield farming ideas. Now, this is not totally correct. We'll go over why in a second, but we'll take a look here. See, as you can see, Arcane Bear is 27% of its liquidity totally locked. But here's where they've gone wrong. Now, it says there's circulating supply is 9.8 million bear. That's not true. It's on a pre-vesting schedule of 3 years. So that's a different story. There's actually only 3 million bear in circulation. And I'm going to start locking all of those up in here. So as you can see, we locked up 10,000 and another 100,000 and another 5,000. And then now we have 3%, 3 big chunks, at least 30% of all the liquidity in the pool has been locked up. And tomorrow when I lock in for the snapshots, it'll probably be closer to 90% of the liquidity totally locked up. So in terms of yield farming and productive results, you really want to use things like Team.finance to see how much liquidity is out there. A lot of people don't do this type of stuff. There is another version as well, Unicrypt. Unicrypt, yes, is another area where you can find how much how many tokens are locked up as well. So I don't know why they're not giving me home locker. There it is. Okay, so Unicrypt is another version of Team.finance where you can see how much is locked and for how long. So here you can see ETH to YF DAI, $1.54 million is locked up. And what's nice here too is this is both sides of the trade. So this is Ethereum and YF DAI. So again, when you're locking liquidity, you're locking the Uniswap tokens. So for those of you that don't know, and we're going to make more videos about this, when you lock up liquidity on Uniswap, go back here, we'll click on accounts. We'll use this account as an example, not that one. Let's see here. That one's already been locked. This one hasn't been locked yet. So here you can see the total of 16 Ethereum and has not been locked in this account yet. But the important part here is that, where are we going back to? Yes, okay. So when this here actually represents what's known as a Uni V2 token. So this, if you owned this pool, if I were the owner of this pool, this particular one, what it would show up as is a Uni V2 token in your wallet. So when you lock that V2 token, you're locking your portion of the overall liquidity in Uniswap. So if you go to Uniswap's transaction layer, you find that I think that their Uni V2 token is only like 2 tokens. So you have, if you own even like $100,000 in liquidity, it's like 0.000004 Uni token effectively, because I think there's only 2. I'd have to double check on that. So it's broken up into like multi-decimal points. So yield farming, you want to make sure, how much is locked up? How long is it locked up for? How much of that liquidity pool is there? These are important questions, and we're going to go over them more specifically in videos moving forward. But the other important part to recommend or to understand is that this is a small community-driven experiment, and I have no need to screw around here. Like I'm playing with this technology because I think it is in the benefit of not just myself, but of my community. That's why we started doing this stuff. It's not because I'm trying to make money from it. It's because I think that the experimentation process in a community setting is one of the most powerful ways to play, because then we all have each other's vested interests. Like I know when I go shop, I'll give you an example here. We'll switch back to my face while I rant. I know when I go shop, I'm shopping at my friend's grocery store. When I buy coffee, I'm supporting my friends. Not only the workers who work there are my friends, but the people that own that restaurant are also my friends. I think when you're I'm in a small community here in Costa Rica, and I have one of the benefits and the advantages of being able to shop at places that are owned by my friends and by my community. Now, that's the sentiment that we're trying to build here with the Arcane Bear as well. So I hope that answers your question about being able to get in early. It's early. Okay, I want to take a look at a few more guys' questions. I know you had asked a bunch about GRT and ETH, and we will go over that. I just wanted to go over that DeFi sector first, because for Sky, it is worthwhile, and you have control. It's 30-day entries. You have to. We run multiple snapshots throughout the 30 days, and as long as you provide 0.777 Ethereum and the equivalent bear, you'll be added into the pool, and my majority holding of the pool will be always diminished, so that I otherwise I'd just be taking the majority of it, and I don't. It doesn't make any sense. So it's designed to reward you guys for learning and experimenting with us effectively. But again, unqualified, unequivocal risks are involved, so don't. But, you know, that's a fun one. Okay. Animus, Dogecoin. Yeah, people like Jordan here, Jordan McKeehern. Yeah, I don't think you understand how this stuff works, Jordan. That's pretty obvious. I really don't think you understand how this stuff works. I suggest you go do more research if you want to make silly comments that highlight your uneducated opinion, because that's all it is, an uneducated opinion. So we'll leave it at that. Breaking news sources suggesting that TRX may be under investigation by U.S. regulators. Okay, keep an eye on that one. Guys, when you see news like Tron might be under investigation by regulators, keep a close eye on that, because those can be huge opportunities. Yeah, very, very interesting question. Jim Fallon has a great question before we jump in and take a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin to kind of finalize the night here. So when locking up a token, as the value of the token goes up, will I receive that value? Well, I see. You know, this is a great question, because impermanent loss, like when you think about impermanent loss, it's such a difficult question. So let's use Ethereum and USDT, okay? I'm going to provide liquidity to Ethereum and USDT, right? That's what we're going to do right now, like hypothetically speaking, so that we can explain the risks that are involved just by adding liquidity to any pool. I don't care whose pool it is. These things are all the same. The only difference is the sell and buy side and the volatility of an asset based off how much of it there is. That's another extremely important part of this question. So when you're looking at, do you want to add, when you want to add liquidity to a pool, what you're doing is you're putting up Ethereum and the US dollar coin, right? So if Ethereum goes up or down, and you have to stay relative to that price, let's say people start selling or buying Ethereum, and now you end up with more USDT and less Ethereum. That's what impermanent loss is, right? So if Ethereum goes up, more people want Ethereum, so they're giving you USDT to take the Ethereum away from you. That's how a liquidity provider works, and that's what impermanent loss is. So when you have a stabilized asset versus a volatile asset, that's like a horrible, you never want to provide liquidity for this type of pool, because it would be very dangerous to do so. It's much better to have a volatile asset and a brand new asset, because there's only room for upside for the brand new asset effectively. It's a very complex conversation in the world of the automated market maker. Like even myself, I didn't understand it at all really until we created the bear token with Roll, or until Roll created the bear token and we started experimenting, because you don't really notice unless it's your own community, because then you can tell. Like we give away bear frequently. As a matter of fact, let's give away, we'll do a bear video giveaway tomorrow. We'll give like $100 in bear away tomorrow on our next video, so we can kind of show how the experiment works, because you guys could sell that bear and you'd see the price go down, and you could buy it and you'd see the price go up. You don't normally see that, right? This is one of the main things about understanding how comp man works too. You can actually see the difference of when you buy or when you sell. Well, you don't see that when you buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, because you don't have enough money to do that. I could buy $100,000 in Bitcoin and you would not see the price move at all. Whereas you spend even like a few $1,000s buying a token as it's just beginning, the price will massively shoot up. So there's a big difference there. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum, see where we're at, and Bitcoin. So again, Ethereum looks like it might be forming a new trading range. We are ultimately bullish, but again, when we go to the daily and we look at that rising megaphone pattern that we just broke out of, I wouldn't be taking any like long positions here unless I saw a trading range form, which we might. but I would give it more time. Even if it shoots up more, I don't really care. It's too risky. Like on the daily, I just see nothing. Even on the 45-minute, we're seeing just the start of a trading range. We're here for almost 2 weeks? Yeah, for 6 days before, you had a beautiful trading range, less than 10%. This was like the perfect position to take a massive long, and even better was right here. I took a small long there. Should have let it ride longer. That was my bad. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll go over that same type of idea. Here again, first trading range, second trading range, third. And here you can see they're getting shorter in duration as we continue. This is usually the sign that we're getting close to an intermediary top before we see distribution set in. Now, because Bitcoin showed its first major sign of weakness inside of this trading range, I'm going to want to keep an eye on that to see what it does, because maybe it comes down and breaks lower to retest $20,000. We don't know yet. So I'm going to be more patient with that particular one. GRT, okay, let's see. There's probably not enough data here for me to really get a good grasp on GRT. I think we went over it the other day. Yeah, first off, here's why I don't buy into the hype. I wait till the hype settled down. I don't see any stopping action on GRT yet. So what I mean by that is you generally want to see a nice big spike of volume, a quick downside, and then a move above. Again, the POC here is going to be a more clairvoyant point of interest. I don't know why I use the word clairvoyant. It's not what I meant to say, but something like that. It'll be a more intrepid. I don't know. Why am I using words that don't fit right now? Pertinent. Yes, it'll be more pertinent, I think, to wait above this POC line for GRT. But in terms of just general accumulation, it looks like we're maybe about to form that horizontal trading range. But again, we haven't seen that volume spike to indicate an accumulation range. So I'd be a bit more patient with GRT having looked at that. Okay, great. I'm going to kind of leave it at that for you guys tonight. Thank you all for joining us. I love this part of our week, of our month, of our year, where we all get to communicate and hang out together. I will take a look at your guys' thoughts and questions before, and that's how we'll end off the night. So Jim Founts has been locking. Okay, we went over that. That was impermanent loss. Okay, so I'll explain the other side of impermanent loss. Let's say you locked up USDT and Ethereum, and everybody kept selling Ethereum, and Ethereum's price kept going down, and you ended up with more USDT than you had Ethereum, and you didn't have to trade, and the market kind of traded for you. So stable coins and volatile assets sound like a bad liquidity pool. Two volatile assets together, that sounds a bit easier to manage. Like if it's something versus Ethereum, that sounds like a smarter play. But anyways, that's a different conversation. I got burned on Ampleforth from impermanent loss. Yeah, people don't really recognize that, but definitely don't want to add too much to your position or your liquidity pool if you are adding like a stable coin like USDT versus Ethereum. Yeah, because you're very, very likely to lose in that case, because you have volatile assets in a bull market which are most likely to go up. So if you are going to add liquidity to a pool, you want to be pretty sure about the community behind that pool and the community behind that token. Again, that's why I think Team Finance, Crypt, all those are cool. And again, you can chart a lot of these things while they're on Uniswap on things like Chartx Pro too. So keep that in mind. Okay, more questions. Cool. Let's do this. Boom. Yeah. By the way, guys, I just removed Jordan's ability to even comment or chat in the group. Anyways, I don't really care. People like that are just don't understand the importance of experimentation. To me, are just not worth the time. Nice. Okay, everyone's talking about Jordan there in the last part of the question. Okay, we'll go there. Sell or hold ETH. Guys, I don't know how many times I have to repeat this, but if you're new to investing and trading, you should continue to just accumulate. We're at the very early stages of a bull market. I'm going to have to start making Ethereum videos that say Ethereum to 10 grand, because it could happen. Bitcoin to $1 million, because you won't care. just keep accumulating if you're new, and accumulate through time. So if you're like, oh, I got $5,000, I'm going to spend it right now. Don't do that. If you have $5,000, it's your first time investing, you should be like, okay, I'm going to put in $1,000 every month for the next 5 months. That way I don't do anything silly. And even if it wasn't the best thing, if you do that every year for the rest of your life, or let's just say a decade, then you're going to be looking at a much more significant like growth of your portfolio. Because it's not about should I buy or should I sell? It's just keep accumulating more. Keep accumulating. And when we get to crazy tops, if you've got life-changing money in your account, pay off your bills, buy whatever it is you wanted to always own or buy, you know, take your wife or partner out on some crazy date and call it a day. Cheeky. Well, your name is your name's Cheeky in the group here. That's what I get from it. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for joining us today. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate these live streams. Give us a thumbs up if you like this content. If there's some type of content you would like to see more of, which I think we're going to start focusing on longer DeFi things, like even understanding how an automated market maker works and what liquidity providing is and impermanent loss. I don't think a lot of people know. I've watched other YouTubers who talk about impermanent loss, but I don't think that they really recognize it. Not all of them. Some of them do. Like I've got some great friends, like shout out to Box Mining, great friend of mine as well. Data Dash, great friend of mine as well. Actually, shout out to a lot of the YouTubers. I love all the content creators in this sector. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I really appreciate all your guys' support. If you want to join our private group, remember that there's no risk involved. You can go to arcanebear.com/private. And if you sign up and you're not happy, we'll give you a refund. Now, I've only refunded like maybe 10 people out of the hundreds that have signed up. But the community is extremely powerful. We give away Bear frequently to people in that community. I saw someone sell like $200 to $300 worth of Bear today that they had gotten given to them in October when it was only worth like $20. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Congratulations, you guys. You made it this far. It's been one heck of a ride, and I'm deeply grateful for all your support. We're going to give you guys the intro, outro logo because, yes, that's right. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear, and we are signing off for the rest of the day, ladies and gentlemen.